is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have new developments on a hate crime in Moorhead that's drawn attention from throughout the state. We're learning that it was a loss prevention employee from the Dilworth Walmart who helped crack the case by telling police they have video of someone who recently purchased red spray paint. Last night, we broke to you on Valley News Live at 9 that this man, 22-year-old Ben Enderle, was arrested for felony harassment and felony criminal damage to property in the second degree. Police say he vandalized the Moorhead Fargo Islamic Center Mosque over the weekend with several hate messages. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, praise and thanks from local law enforcement to the woman who helped take Enderle into custody. We're learning more this afternoon as to what led up to the resignation of a Fargo middle school teacher. Many students reported to Principal Brad Larson that social studies teacher John Rain at Carl Ben Eielson had been touching female students' backs, arms, and shoulders and moving their hair. Rain turned in his resignation days after receiving a letter from the district saying that he would be fired with cause. An investigation carried out by Principal Larson found that the teacher touched female students and made inappropriate comments toward them. This wasn't Rain's first complaint. In 2015, he was ordered to undergo counseling after slapping a student on the butt in front of another teacher. Then in 2016, he was placed on administrative leave after allegedly telling a student they were hot and making an inappropriate gesture. A 13-year-old boy has been charged after a stabbing outside a school in Grand Forks. Police were called to West Elementary School for a report of a stabbing outside. A middle schooler was found in University Park with a stab wound and was taken to the hospital. The suspect and the victim knew each other, and police found the suspect at a nearby home. He's been charged with aggravated assault. Now here's Hutch with a first look at your forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Stacy. We do have some changes taking place as we head through the evening, but wow, what a day. Temperature-wise, many of us seeing that 70-degree mark as we look in on Grand Forks from our home of economy location. Some dark clouds with some rain shafts falling out of the base of them. Indeed, a couple of rumbles of thunder also being reported by the Lightning Detection Network out there in the Marshall County, Minnesota and Walsh County, North Dakota area. These showers are slow movers, and because they're convective, they're locally heavy, so likely they are some sidewalk wetters moving into the northern portions of Grand Forks County now and heading over the Red River Valley. Now look at what's heading towards Newfold, some showers as well. These extend south and east, and look at the cold air punching in with this cold front. 55 in Langdon, while we're still holding on to 70 in Grand Forks and in Fargo Moorhead. It's 64 in Lakes Country. Tonight, temperatures do slip into the 60s. The best chance of rain in Fargo will be after 8:30 p.m. as the showers will continue to move east into Minnesota during the overnight hours. Not all of us will get rain. I'll have details on the track of all of that. We'll talk about a cooler day tomorrow as a result of this cold front and that weekend warm-up here in a minute.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch. 2 people are in jail after crossing the border from Canada with millions of dollars worth of marijuana weighing more than a ton. Officers targeted a commercial shipment that arrived in Pembina last Friday. The shipment was said to be straw, but officers found nearly 2,800 pounds of marijuana. Customs and Border Protection says the drugs are worth more than $4.5 million. 2 drivers transporting the shipment were arrested. Fargo police are warning the community of a high-risk sex offender in the area. Police say 31-year-old Richard Staples is now living at Center Inc. at 123 15th Street North. He's convicted of raping a 6-year-old girl in 2017 and raping an unconscious woman in 2014. If you're concerned about Staples or any other sex offender in Fargo, give police a call. New information on a story we've been following all week. Masks will be required for students in West Fargo public schools through at least the end of the year. This comes as parents gathered outside the school board meeting earlier this week, saying parents should get to decide whether their kids wear masks at school. The district says they'll continue to follow guidance from the North Dakota Department of Health, which strongly recommends schools continue the use of masks, physical distancing, and contact tracing. New real-world data shows that the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines are effective at reducing the risk of hospitalization among older adults. CDC researchers looked at hospital data involving 417 adults aged 65 and older. They compared the odds of vaccination among those who had tested positive for COVID-19 versus those who had tested negative. They found those who were fully vaccinated with either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine were 94% less likely to be hospitalized when compared to those who were not vaccinated, but the efficacy dropped to 64% if they were partially vaccinated. The state of Minnesota has gotten more than 4 million doses of the COVID vaccine into arms. Now a push to vaccinate younger Minnesotans because of concerns they're driving the spread of new COVID cases. Right now, only the Pfizer vaccine is approved for 16 and 17-year-olds. The Minnesota Department of Health says they're seeing a spike in cases and hospitalizations among younger people. Kate Raditz shares how state officials are trying to target eligible teens to get the shot.
Thousands 16 and 17-year-olds have gotten at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. They're the only age group of children that currently have an approved vaccine.
16 and 17, we have seen greater case growth in those younger populations, so we're working with schools looking to get 16 and 17-year-olds vaccinated.
At a mobile vaccination site in Richfield, Governor Tim Walz and Commissioner Jan Malcolm encouraged every Minnesotan, including eligible teenagers, to get the shot.
But the fact of the matter is, every person who gets a shot reduces the chance of that happening, reduces the chance of community spread, and gets us closer to putting this thing away for good.
Most children who get COVID will have mild to moderate symptoms, but some are severe and in rare cases may die. Infectious disease experts have said that ending the pandemic will likely require the vaccination of children to prevent the virus from further mutating into new variants.
The Mall of America community vaccination site will be prioritizing 16 and 17-year-olds starting today through May 1st.
These types of clinics will also prioritize the teens' families. Commissioner Jan Malcolm says the goal is to educate parents about the data and help separate fact from any fiction.
The distinction between hesitancy and thoughtfulness, or the need to make an informed decision. We want to meet people where they are. We want to give them the information to make good decisions.
Kate Raditz, WCCO 4 News.
Clay County Public Health says more than 200 patients ages 16 and 17 have gotten the shot so far. Experts say 12 to 15-year-olds could have an approved vaccine soon. If you're looking for a place to get the vaccine, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. We're hearing from one of the 12 jurors who convicted former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin of murdering George Floyd. A diverse jury deliberated for about 10 hours after 3 weeks of often emotional testimony. 31-year-old Brandon Mitchell was known only as Juror 52 during those weeks. He joined CBS this morning with a look at what it was really like in the courtroom.
We were just stressed about just the simple fact of, every day we had to come in and watch a black man die. That alone is stressful. Coming in each and every day and having to watch somebody die is stressful enough by itself. So anything outside of that was secondary, just because as a human, it's natural to feel some kind of way as you're watching somebody in agony.
Chauvin faces up to 40 years in prison at a sentencing now scheduled for June 25th. A profanity-laced social media post landed a Pennsylvania teen in hot water and a case of student-free speech in the Supreme Court. Brandy Levy said she was upset after being booted from varsity cheerleading to JV when she posted a Snapchat story which included several F-bombs and her middle finger. Word got back to high school administrators, and the cheer coach kicked Brandy off the cheer squad entirely. The story ignited a firestorm over what qualifies as free speech for public school students and how much control schools have over it. Federal officials executed a search warrant at Rudy Giuliani's Manhattan apartment and office today. It's unclear what was seized in that search. Federal investigators have been looking into the former Trump lawyer's dealings with Ukrainian officials. He was a key figure in the events that led up to Trump's first impeachment, relying on Ukrainian officials to try to dig up dirt about Joe Biden as he ran for president. Democrats said that there was overwhelming evidence that Trump had abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to announce investigations into President Biden and his son Hunter, while withholding almost $400 million in aid. President Biden will unveil a nearly $2 trillion proposal when he delivers his first address to a joint session of Congress tonight. Deborah Alfarone has more details from the White House.
the President of the United States.
For the first time ever, 2 women, Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, will be sitting behind President Biden as he delivers his first address to a joint session of Congress.
This is just so exciting. But let's just talk not only about making history, but making progress for the American people. And that's what President Biden will be doing.
The president will unveil a $1.8 trillion American Families Plan that the White House says will save the average family $13,000. It includes free preschool for all 3- and 4-year-olds, as well as 2 free years of community college for everyone. It will also extend the child tax credits through 2025. It will be paid for with tax reform and increases on the wealthiest Americans. Many Republicans are certain to oppose the plan.
The Biden administration seems to have given up on selling actual unity in favor of catnip for their liberal base.
White House staffers will spend the day on the phone selling the plan to lawmakers.
The American Families Plan is going to ensure that kids across the country, families across the country get 4 years of additional education, universal pre-K. That's not a partisan proposal. That's something people across the country really could benefit from.
The president's address comes on the eve of his 100th day in office, and the White House says he'll highlight his accomplishments during that time. Other priorities included in tonight's speech will be police reform, immigration, gun safety, foreign policy, and ending the pandemic.
Since Inauguration Day, we have given 215 million shots.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will deliver the Republican rebuttal. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
The president will hit the road tomorrow to mark his 100th day in office with a trip to Georgia, where he'll meet with former President Jimmy Carter. Coming up, the warmer weather means it's tick season, how you can protect yourself and your family.
And temperatures peaking in the 70s for many where you see the orange colors, including here in Fargo. But cooler air is on the way and a few showers as well. Will they hit drought-stricken areas? We'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast on just how low we go as this cool front moves through next.